going on, you guys? It is Madison and James here with AlchemyPhyt at a different location. And we are going to essentially, we're going to just yap at you for a while. So feel free to sit back, whatever day it is for you. Hope you're enjoying it and just hear us yap your ear off, basically. So it is what, week before Christmas?
Yeah.
And that is the work of the lovely Charlotte that you hear trying to bust out because my boy Mellow is out here. And they are new friends.
Yes.
So we don't want to really be testing their limits.
No, not with Charlotte.
Camera.
Y'all met Charlotte last week.
And y'all met Mellow before in little slight bits. But yeah, he's going to be hanging out with us because, of course, we love our pets, especially during the holidays and especially just being able to have a podcast and film and things like that. We want to be able to have our dogs with us too.
Yeah.
So he's going to be roaming around, kind of just messing with both of us because he's my sweet, lovable boy. Come on. Morris says, come on. So, yeah. But what we want to talk about this week is temptation. Because with it being a week out from Christmas, and I'm sorry for the massage chair voice, it's because I have a 35-pound dog hyperventilating on my chest.
Massage chair voice? What is that?
Because it's like he's bumping my vocal cords.
Oh, okay.
But, so yes, we want to talk about temptation because with it being so close to the holidays, it is a lot to think about in terms of what family events you're going to go to, what houses, what your traveling situation's looking like, if you're doing any activities, anything like that. So we really just want to raise an awareness to that and know that you're going to have temptation all around you. If you're going to family gatherings, everyone's got that relative that makes their special dish, whether it's dessert, appetizer, entree. Everybody has something that they are looking forward to, and they also know it's probably not the most nutritional, but enjoy it anyways. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like we tell all of our clients, and like we're going to say again to you guys, don't deprive yourself during this season, during this time that you are getting to eat these foods that you don't eat, other 364 days out of the year. It's one day, it's one time a year. You can definitely afford to just relax and go all out because we know, like we said in Thanksgiving, we know we're going to.
Yeah,
so don't put any shame on yourself doing it, but there is a lot of temptation that comes with that because some people have temptations of certain foods. Some people have temptations because I've heard from clients that this is the biggest time of the year that they drink alcohol because it's a way to cope with their families. And this is a big temptation for people, that have friction in their families, that it's a temptation to have some sort of confrontation and stuff like that. Like you're always going to be presented with these temptations during the holidays. They're around you, they're constant, and they're in your face. But choosing when and how to express those temptations is going to be crucial because some of them, like if it's a food dish, indulge in it once. Not for the next 3 days, not for the next week, or anything like that.
Don't eat the whole cake.
Exactly. So enjoy these bits of it. Enjoy these little victories and, these little celebrations of the holidays and family time. But don't make it so crucial. Charlotte's about to break down the door. But don't make it so crucial to where you are really hurting yourself in the long run to where when you do get back to your normal routine, whether it's you traveling back home or staying where you're at or going into the gym or for the first time going back to work, that you are having to take a longer time to recover. And so, James, what do you think during this time of year is the biggest temptation for you?
Food.
Food?
Food, it's an overindulgence in fast food and because you're just so busy with things you got to do. Like earlier today, I had to go get a haircut, do this X, Y, and Z. And one little bit of Christmas shopping, which I did. Well, I was hungry. And so I thought, well, I could go home, and I should have done that. I could have come home, and I could have had something to eat. Right. I didn't. I went to Raising Cane's instead and was like, all right, I'll have a Caniac combo. Give me some lemonade. And was it the best choice for me? Absolutely not. Did it give me the energy I need? Yes, but I was just crunched for time, if you will.
Yeah.
So I made that choice. And is it going to be like that all the time? No.
Right.
But I also did tell myself, so I had a race last weekend, Toys for Tots here in Lubbock. And when I was getting my hair cut earlier today, I told my barber, I was like, I'm going to consider this to be my off season.
Okay.
You know, and
Yeah.
week and a half, if you will, because you mentioned alcohol earlier. I don't know about you, but like me, this time of the year with booze, when I was still drinking, I was drinking everything under the sun because I was getting together with friends and family. There was going to be some, cocktails, spirits, drink, and I drank it.
Yeah.
Since I don't do that anymore, what do I indulge in now? Food.
Yeah.
Sweets.
That became more of your vice after the fact. Which is typically very common if somebody does quit a certain vice, whether it is like drinking, smoking, or anything like that. A lot of times they'll switch that into something else, and majority of it is overeating. So majority of the time, if somebody quits an addiction like that, they end up being a stress eater because they're still in that sort of addictive mindset to find something else to cope with not having that fix anymore. And so, it can do that severely. That's good that you're aware of it, because I feel like that's a lot of people's main issue is that they don't build an awareness around it. And they just kind of go about it and they're like, I don't know, this time of year I just tend to overdo it. Yeah. And they don't really dive into the why. But one of my favorite things that I heard this year, besides the sound of that door, heard from one of my clients being very honest, was telling me how she uses the holidays to essentially cope with being around. And I'm not going to say her name or anything because it's her business and it's, to me and her and all that. But I completely understand that. I know so many people that drink heavily during the holidays because it's just a way to cope with the constant busyness, the noise, the chaos, the family frictions, the escape of it all. And I can understand where that can come to somebody's mind as a solution, but it's just never worth it, because then you end up, especially when it comes to alcohol, you're putting poison in your body, because that's why we have hangovers. That's why we get drunk. That's why we throw up. It's our body's natural way of rejecting poison that is coming into our bodies that we do not want. And so when you're doing that, when you're coping with alcohol, it just leads to a more just kind of depressing time, because then you probably sleep in too late and you have to get up early to go to some family function. So you feel grouchy, you don't feel good, you don't want to eat well. And it just makes the recovery process so much more. And then you spend that whole time, once the holidays are over, still recovering from doing that. So it takes a toll on you. And so it's out there. It's around all of us. I mean, I'm working on 4 years sober right now. And the holidays, yes, it was something that I would do pretty frequently. Is I would pretty much drink at every family event just to take the edge off, just to relax, just to get through it and not stress out about what was going on around me and things like that. And now that I don't do that anymore, the biggest thing that I found that was helpful is setting boundaries. Mm-hmm. Like I used to have, and I'm still working on this, used to have really bad FOMO. For those of you who don't know, FOMO stands for fear of missing out. And so I would push through and essentially exhaust myself during the holidays because I wanted to be a part of everything my family and friends were doing. If there's an event, I was going to go. If there's a gathering, I was going to go. And I did that, and I think you saw it last year. I did it so bad, I got myself sick.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I don't get sick.
She does.
I do not.
She really
I deal with allergies being in West Texas, but everybody does. But no, this took me out because I had been traveling before that. I had gone to see my brother in California. And then after we got back, when me and my brother are together, me and him are very similar, and we just want to go. So we would work out and wake up early to have breakfast with each other. Even though he would stay at my dad's, I lived on my own house, and I would immediately get up early to go have breakfast with him. And then we would plan our day, and then we would have to spend at least 2 to 3 hours in the gym because we would just start talking. So then it would take up all our time. And then we're like, hey, we have to be here at 6. So then we're rushing after the gym to get ready to go somewhere. And then we go somewhere, and then we stay up late talking again and watching movies, trying to spend as much time as we could with each other. And then it was finally, I think we only made it to my brother's birthday, my oldest brother's, on December 27th, so 2 days after Christmas, and me and him were out.
Yeah,
we spent the entire day on the couch because me and my brother both, we had body aches, we had chills, we were sick, and neither one of us get sick. And so we looked at each other and we went, okay, we overdid it.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even have to be drinking, or we weren't overeating. We weren't doing like any of those quote unquote bad things. It was just our time that we sacrificed too much of it. And after that, I recovered, and it took me a while, but I decided, I was like, never again am I going to push myself that hard. It is not worth it, and nobody is making it as big of a deal as you are in your head if you're missing out on something. And I definitely don't think people miss out on things. If you're not supposed to go, you're not going to go, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to miss out on something just because you're not there this one time. And so it's picking and choosing your boundaries. And if you want to have a certain cutoff during the day so you know yourself enough to decompress to where you can be ready for those family events that start in the morning, or having to be somewhere later that evening and setting aside time during the middle of the day to just be by yourself so you can decompress so you're ready for the event that night. It's just little things like that. To me, it's really paying attention to your body and seeing what it needs, because we've said it so many times, it will speak so loudly to you.
Yeah, listen to your body.
And so I know, like, for people who got to travel, the biggest thing that I've always seen around like the residential like neighborhoods is people walking. And they'll walk around and I just look at them and I'm like, you're getting away from your family right now and you're going on a walk. And that's so beneficial, because you don't want to string yourself out. It's already a stressful season enough with, I feel like, all the societal pressure that we get put on for gifts and gatherings and social events, and all that is enough of pressure on you. Yeah. So do what you need to do this holiday season to set boundaries, take time for yourself, look at the temptations of wanting to dive head first all in, and kind of take a step back, look at it from the outside and be like, is this something that is going to benefit my body? Is this something that I'm going to have to be recovering from? Or is this something that I'm going to enjoy?
Yeah.
Because we're not saying like, oh yeah, don't even visit your family.
Don't do nothing. Yeah,
don't do absolutely anything. I mean, if that's what you want to do, good for you. If you want to sit and do absolutely nothing, I am so proud of you. Do whatever is bringing you joy and that you can bring joy to others. But I know especially that's what I was working on this holiday season, is I was committing to certain things, but I was so glad that they were like weekends apart.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like just constant. And so that's been really helpful. And I know for you, you're kind of the same way, because you travel down to Hobbs. And so you're kind of just in that space like 24/7. And I know that you don't stay very long because you know your limits and you know when you want to come back.
Yeah, I was talking about, I had therapy a little bit before this a few hours ago, and I was talking to my therapist about, he asked me, like, last week it was like, what's your goal that you want to achieve? And I said, and he's like, hold off on that. Think about it for a week. So we did. And I did. And what I told him was organization, structure. That's what I wanted to work on with my resolution, if you will, goals. I'm about to go get her here in a bit, but I'm going to finish this thing. The organization of, like, when it comes to traveling in the holidays, like, it's so tough to really stick to your schedule.
Right. When
it comes to your nutrition, your fitness, everything. So, like, when I go, next week I'm going to go visit back to Hobbs, be there for a few days. I'm still going to try to do my best to stick to the structure and the schedule I have for myself. So, it's funny that you mentioned the whole walking part and going for a run. I don't know about you, but I remember sometimes, like, when I would do that, it was to get away for a bit. Yeah. And then I'd come back, and then there was like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
They do kind of, which is good because you want them to be aware of what you're doing and concerned for you, but yes.
Yeah. And it's not that I'm, trying to blow anybody off or anything like that. I'm just sticking to my schedule. Like, I got this big old 1 gallon of water that I'm, trying to stick to my water.
Yeah.
I really am. So yeah, it's awkward looking. I actually got this a few days ago. Very sturdy.
Under Armour, nice.
It's I saw this. It's very new. So
it's got a nice little spout there, the lid.
Swig for the working man right there. But I'm sticking to what I have to do organization wise. I have to. It's for my own sanity and stuff like that. And just trying not to let all the holiday stresses get to you. Because this weekend is the last weekend before Christmas. So what does that entail with everybody?
It's going to be everybody and their mama shopping and going around getting Christmas gifts for everybody on their list.
For everybody on their list, but it is going to attack what we all have. What's the word? I don't want to use the word laziness. We
Comfort?
No. The lackadaisical. We were lackadaisical in...
Or the procrastinators?
Procrastinators.
Got it.
Procrastinators.
Not just a hat rack, my friends.
Because I have not gotten all my Christmas shopping done. Yeah, I got my Christmas tree over here with a few gifts. Oh, she has.
Because I'm type A.
That
I have to, or it drives me nuts.
Yeah. And so I have not gotten everybody's gift yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm deciding to do that this weekend, which
you're going to join everybody else.
Stupidity, call it what you will, but
I think that's fine.
It's fine. However,
it's just going to be busier, and you're prepared for that.
I'm prepared for it. Yeah, I'm prepared for it. And so, but at that same time, I'm like, all right, I made that decision. However, within the organization and the structure that I've created for myself, especially that I've worked on this past year, you make the choices you're going to face with, I don't even want to say the use consequences, because I think that sounds harsh in this case, but I made those choices, so I'm prepared to handle it.
Yeah.
And I think now, looking back to the holidays, segueing back, I'm going to make those choices. I know that I'm probably going to have some desserts. We were talking to my mom yesterday. She was like, what are we going to have for Christmas dinner and stuff? And I suggested barbecue. So
Great suggestion.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good source of protein, too.
Good source of protein. However, is that the healthiest thing? No, of course not. So with that, but in the process, I'm still going to go out and do my thing. I'm still going to stick to my workout schedule.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a kettlebell, go for a run, stuff like that. I'm adhering to the structure I'm creating myself, because when you have more of a structure, I feel, and a strategy, the stresses and the temptation of aspects, the impact that those temptations could make, even if you indulge in it, it's not going to be that bad.
It's really not, because like you said, you have a structure, you have a plan, you have a consistency built in your body. And a lot of times, if you are being consistent in your diet and exercise, and you do indulge in a holiday meal, a lot of times that's what we call a refeed situation, because your body is so equipped to digesting your nutrients the way that it has from being so structured, that when it takes in this meal that it doesn't normally have, it knows exactly how to break it down, like she's about to do with that door.
I'm a go-getter.
But it knows exactly how to break it down in your body more efficiently, because it's been doing that with your nutrition anyways. So a lot of times people lose weight. Of what we see is people have told me, like on Thanksgiving and stuff, because they've been so disciplined in that ma'am. You can tell they've been so disciplined in their nutrition that they'll actually lose weight after certain holidays because of how much that they're doing. And I think they want to take over the podcast right now, but oh my gosh, I think it's funny because you look at both of us, you know how they say dogs like reflect their owners? You can't get real close. And then get Charlotte to your mouth. I think that's hilarious. But yeah, that's mainly what we wanted to talk about, guys, is that you're going to face temptations this holiday season no matter what. And it's going to be either family, food, booze, your time, your treasure. Just try your absolute best to set yourself up for success.
We're not going to edit this. This is real life. This is what we do.
Hi,
this is what we do. So y'all saw her last week. She doesn't, as we mentioned,
Charlotte.
She's a little fighter. And so I don't want, these two have met before. They have. And they got along, right?
Yeah, she only kind of did to him because it was, I think it was just overwhelming because she got so excited.
Yeah.
And then he is named Mellow for good reason. Because he's very chill. But my boy is also, if you push him too far or you kind of poke the bear, he will burp like that and then rip your head off. But they're both great. But yeah, and the best thing is also, if you have a dog or a cat or an animal, just love on them a little bit more.
Because they're stressed out too.
And they can feel when you are. So especially if you get to take them like James does when he goes to see his family.
3 dogs.
Just love on them a little harder, because that's what I would do. If around my family and stuff, if I was like, okay, I'm getting a little bit overstimulated, I've been doing too much, I would go sneak home or to my apartment and just hug on Mellow, because it allowed me to relax. It allowed me to just decompress. So whatever you need to do for you to enjoy this holiday season without overindulgence, go for it. Ain't that right, Charlie?
See, Charlotte right now is like the temptation. I want to let her go. I want to see this dog play with other dogs, but you know, she's a bit of a. She's a wild card. She's the sweetest dog. She's crying.
It's okay. There she goes.
There we go.
It's just new things. It's socializing your dog, and that just takes a while. So us as humans do it. If we get overwhelmed, overstimulated, and we don't like it, we start crying. We might not want to admit it, but we do. But yeah, so just enjoy your holiday season. Be safe, be happy, be blessed. Find your peace in that, whatever that means to your decompression. But prioritize yourself as much as you are, your family members, and your time. And just have a great holiday season. And we'll check in with you guys.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Hey, bye.
Bye, puppies. Bye. Bye, bye.